Right, so I'm going to try and block out, because I've got dirty dishes in the background, so I'll block it out with my mask. But no, so I'm going to recap the race from yesterday. So Scottish Championship qualifying heats. So I left it sort of like to the last race to qualify. I managed to qualify, spoiler alert, but yeah, so first race was not ideal. Ended up dropping a 7, I think it was 7:17, 7:18, but yeah, it was like my slowest time this year. Like, I didn't think I would be able to run slower than the 7:16 that I sort of opened up with, but somehow managed to run slower than that. I did sort of slip at the start, so I think like it was either the third or fourth step I sort of slipped and then was like out too far in front of myself. So that happened, but yeah, I feel like after that it was then like hard to set up the rest of the race, and I just think I wasn't really feeling this sort of like hype and adrenaline beforehand. I feel like that's just something that I've been missing since I got injured last year, so I just need to try and get it back. I feel like I've figured out that building momentum is probably going to be the most important thing. I was reading a book called The Talent Code, and it sort of it discusses why talent hotbeds will spring up in these like random places. Like, I think there's a famous Russian tennis school that produced, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the top 10 female tennis players in the 90s and 80s, and it was just like in this small town, and it was describing why this happens, and one of the reasons is like ignition of motivation. So I feel like that's sort of like a thing that I need, is like the momentum to kind of like ignite that sort of spark again and get my mojo back essentially. And I think that's just going to be done through building confidence, which I think I have mentioned in the past, that I do feel like confidence as a sprinter is like it's like paramount to really actualizing your full potential. So that's what I just need to get back, and I think after this weekend, after the second race, I definitely feel a lot better. So for the second race, I took a little caffeine pill, maybe about 30-40 minutes out. I wanted to kind of feel the caffeine during the warm-ups, during the warm-up block starts, because again, it's like all about building that momentum onto the race from the block start. So I did that and did my final block start, felt good, ready to go. Felt like I had that kind of like hype feeling, that adrenaline, hurdled over this like little fence at the bottom, because I was just, feeling myself. And yeah, just kind of from then, felt like I was, just kind of more amped up a little bit, and definitely I feel like the caffeine helped a lot with that. Ended up dropping 7.07, so first time going under 7.1 this season. So things are looking good so far. So yeah, I was happy to do that 600th season best. So yeah, I can't really complain with that. I know I'm capable of a lot more still. I just feel like I need to, just keep racing, keep building this momentum, and hopefully I can drop something nice by the end of indoors. The plan is to do another, I'll at least do one more meet, but I want to do, I think, 2, and I push 3, but I think 3 would only be under like a certain circumstance. So yeah, I will see how things go. I know sort of like roughly they say it takes about 5 meets to really get to your peak for like indoor 60 meters. And I think it's like 7 to 9 meets for the 100, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, plan is to try and really build a solid indoors. I want to really focus on not getting injured as well, because then I can try and build off the momentum from indoors onto outdoors and do a lot more long sprints that I didn't do last year after indoors. So that's sort of the plan. As I say, it was a good weekend. Started off a bit bad in race 1, but we managed to pull it back in race 2 and run a 10th quicker. And yeah, I'm confident that at the Scottish Championship finals I can drop something, decent, but just have to kind of keep my head on and not expect too much. I feel like once you put that pressure on yourself to sort of perform, that's when you can kind of like fall over hurdles and fall over pitfalls. I don't want to, as I say, put the pressure on myself to achieve a certain goal. I'm just going to go there, run my best, warm up, and take caffeine. So yeah, John's told me just to like abuse caffeine, but he said just go crazy with it. So if my heart explodes, I want on my tombstone skill issue, because it would be a skill issue if my heart explodes to the caffeine. But yeah, anyway, I'm like yapping here. It's almost 5 minutes on the timer, so I'm gonna have to end it here. Right, so it is Tuesday now, so I thought I would sort of recap the week from last week real quick. So last week's training was kind of like a mixed bag. There was some really good things and positive things, and there was some really sort of like, you know, slow negative things as well. But I think for the most part, what I did after my competition in Aberdeen for the Scottish qualifiers was a good decision to go and like lift straight after and just really start building the fatigue up, because I really feel like I'm starting to come into shape now this week. So this is the week of the Scottish Champs now, so the Monday session went really well, ran my fastest 30 metre of the year so far, so yeah, looking forward to trying to translate that into some good times this weekend. Just need to not really get ahead of myself. I don't want to put pressure on myself to try and perform, but I definitely think that I can translate this into some good times. Lifting numbers as well felt pretty solid, like I was muscle cleaning 85 kilos, which I've never done before, but yeah, feeling good. And just thought I'd do this quick little update before the Scottish Champs, just sort of recap on last week. Like last week was quite bad, like I was running really slow on the Friday, did sort of like a mock meet 8 days out, and yeah, it was just very slow. So 2 days off over the weekend, and you know, Monday yesterday I felt really fresh. So Tuesday today, just on a little walk in the morning. I've literally sort of just woken up, which is why I look very scruffy, but I thought I'd just come for a nice walk because the sunset behind me is very nice, and I sometimes like to just go for walks in the morning to start the day on the right foot. So yeah, that's really it for this little segment. So you will see sort of my Tuesday's training, my Monday's training, my Friday, and then Scottish Champs. So looking forward to it. Okay, so I have just finished the heats, or sort of semi-finals. So made it into the final with the big queue, so that's, you know, a positive thing to take away. Start felt really good as well. Like the first 30, I think, from what I can sort of see in the video anyway, was definitely one of my quickest 30s. I'm pretty sure in like the last 2 years. So definitely a big positive. It looked about a 398, maybe 397. I'm leaning more towards maybe 398, but like up there with sort of my fastest ever from blocks. So yeah, definitely, you know, feeling good. It was just the max velocity phase that sort of like let me down a little bit. I was not really holding form great after 30. I kind of just like, I don't know what really went wrong. I think, so a big thing is the warm-up. I was supposed to do a 20-metre fly, and that was going to be my last warm-up and get me really sort of like, you know, hyped up, ready to run. But because of the way the warm-ups worked, because it's just like one indoor track, so we have like a sort of like 25-30 minute period to go and do the warm-ups. So because of that, wasn't able to do the 20-metre fly. The official sort of like stopped me and said like no more warming up, because I came like right at the end, because that was the plan, to just do it at the end, get that kind of like, you know, that tired out sort of feeling, get the hype going. And yeah, I wasn't able to do that, but warm-ups did feel good. Like the 10-metre block start, the 30-metre block start I did felt really good. 3-point start felt solid. Just all of the accelerations felt really good. Just a shame that I wasn't able to do the max velocity thing, the 20-metre flies. And I think that was sort of like a big thing that maybe held me back in the race, was that I didn't have that that rep of that 20-metre fly. I didn't get that max velocity phase, you know, patterned in beforehand. So I think before the final, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to try and do the max velocity this time beforehand, and I will see if that helps. But 7.08, so 100th off what I did last in Aberdeen in the heats. So in Aberdeen, that was the second race of the day. So usually second race of the day, you're going to be a bit more, you know, hyped up, ready to go, because you've done the first one. You're going to be more warmed up. So yeah, that's sort of like how that went. And as well, so that's only, I think, 400ths off my first race of the day PR. So definitely, you know, building on some solid work from the season after a bit of a rough start. But yeah, I think just now focus on the final, focus on running my own race. Don't want to get in my head. I'm sort of third on the standings, but yeah, don't want to get in my head. And I'm just going to try and run my race. Definitely, as I say, try and get the max velocity in. But yeah, I just thought I'd do this little quick update between the semi-final and the final. So yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm gonna hope that this is actually sort of a good camera angle, but yeah, finished the Scottish Champs, ended up running 100th PB and finishing second place, so I got a silver medal. So I'll take it after a really slow start to the season. Definitely feel like I can build on this momentum. I've got one more race, so I can't remember if I mentioned it in last week's vlog or like if I've mentioned it at all this year, but I'm not cutting my hair till I go sub 7, and I ran 7 flat today, so it's like literally right there. It's actually such an annoying time to run like 7.00, but yeah, definitely confident that I can try and build on this momentum. My only slight problem is that British Unis is Friday next week. It's currently Saturday, so it's like 6 days, and you want to kind of balance the sort of fine line between doing enough and not doing too much. But yeah, that's sort of like currently where I'm at with that. So I am just trying to think of how to plan training, but I'm going to jump on a call with my coach tomorrow. I might do some slow strength stuff for my knees, because I did quite a bit of jumping today as well. Actually also, so I did touched about 10'1" from like a hop step, pretty much a vertical jump actually without shoes on. Like it wasn't like much of a step in, but I touched like 10'1". It was this like massive like air vent fan that I touched like 3 inches over without shoes on, and that was with spikes in my hand as well, so I wasn't even getting like a proper full arm swing. It was literally just like a hop into it, and I just, you know, carried the adrenaline into that jump. So that was really cool as well. I don't have a video of that or any footage or anything like that, but yeah, that was really good as well. So I cannot complain. But yeah, looking forward to British Unis next week. Just going to take it easy. As I say, I've got a rough plan in my head of what I'm going to do. So I think, just say, some slow strength for my knees, calves. Like really, I'm talking like easy lifts. Like I'll probably do like split squats with maybe like a 50 kilo barbell, moving it quite slow. Maybe a 40 kilo barbell, moving it quite slow, focusing on tendon health. And then I will also do probably some calves, slow calves again, take it nice and easy, and then probably finish with like some hamstring, maybe like a RDL with like 70 kilos, just as I say, keeping it super light. Don't think I want to stimulate too hard after the meet. I want to just keep it, as I say, nice and light, and it's just sort of like a feel good lift just to get my body in sort of like a healthy state, ready for the week. So that's the plan. Then I think I'll maybe have Monday as a full day off. Then I'm debating Tuesday as my sort of like main day where I push the envelope a little bit, but I don't want to push the envelope too much, so it'll maybe be like Wednesday's lift, because Wednesday's lift has sort of historically been kind of an easier sort of lift. So Wednesday's lift from this past sort of past few weeks, the plan from the past few weeks. So yeah, Wednesday's lift is what I'll do on Tuesday, and I'll probably sprint. I want to say I'll try 95% from blocks for 30 meters, but I'll talk with John and I'll see what his thoughts are on my thoughts essentially. Then I think Wednesday I want to have a full day off again. Thursday, day before, do a little shakeout. I want to say a few jumps, few really explosive hang cleans, TPV cleans as I call them, and yeah, that's sort of like the rough idea I've got in my head. I'll see what John thinks, but yeah, Thursday's the day before, and then Friday is, you know, game day. So just want to try and finish on a high note. If I don't go sub 7, there is one more competition in Aberdeen that I could do, which is like the second week in March, but we just have to wait and see how British Unis go. But yeah, feeling good. I feel like I can really build on this momentum, so things are kind of finally looking up. So yeah, looking forward to it. But I think this is getting a bit long, and I do need to head back home because it is quite late. I'm probably not going to get back till 8 o'clock now, but treat myself to a McDonald's as well, because why not? But I'd get a carrot bag, and I did get some milk as well, so that's like semi-healthy at least. But yeah, I'm ahead, and I will see you next week.